All right, we're good.
Hey everyone, Graeme Wright here with GreenTex's Windows and Siding. We wanted to do something a little bit different today. When we want to let our customers know that when you hire us, we appreciate that. And one of the things that we feel responsible to do as a company here in Austin, Texas, is to give back. God has been gracious with us. He's been very generous with us. And so part of what we do is the bottom line is important to us, but even more than that, people are important to us. And so as we go about our day-to-day life and as we bring amazing products and services to our community, we also want to take a part of that and put that out locally and globally and invest in people. And so over the next few months, few years, we're going to be introducing you to some of our partners. One of those partners is Cherish Uganda. It's an organization that we've been a part of for a number of years now. We believe in it. We believe in their mission, what they're doing. We're excited to have their CEO with us this morning, Brent Phillips. He's going to be telling us a little bit more about Cherish and what Cherish does and why it does what it does, and what, when we donate, how that affects people in Uganda. So Brent, good to have you on this morning. Tell us a little bit more about Cherish.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This is an honor. You know, you guys have been a part of what Cherish is doing for over 5 years. So it's a significant investment you guys have made over the years. And so we're really thankful for the past 5 years and thankful to be able to talk a bit about it today. Yeah, so Cherish, we are an organization that cares for kids with HIV. So kids that have been infected or affected through HIV. And our primary focus is in the country of Uganda. And we do that through kind of 3 main ways. We do that through education. We have a primary school, which basically goes up to 7th grade, and then we have a high school. And then we do that through medical. So we have a hospital, and our hospital at this point functions as an urgent care clinic. It's phase 1. And then we do that through social work. And that is this kind of a deeper investment in the lives of kids and families in our community. And that all is set on a foundation of discipleship. So for us, we believe that true change really happens through Jesus. And so those other tools, those mechanisms, as we push into the community, are all based on the call that God has on our life to care for people and love people.
Very neat. So 3 things you guys are doing to impact lives in Uganda. How does a kid get involved with Cherish?
Yeah, we hear about families and kids through the police department, through other organizations, through hospitals, through some of our staff members. There's many different ways that we hear about kids and families that need our services, and we have a long list. We're never sitting looking around. Where are people that need us? The need is much larger than the time or the money that we have, and so we trust God will continue to provide those resources to meet the needs of those families.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, hey, can you tell us a little bit about how long Cherish has been operating and how long you've been serving Ugandans?
Yeah, the first kids that came onto our site was back in 2007. And so we've been going for about 13 years. And personally, my wife, Lee, and I, we got involved in 2010. So we've been part of Cherish for the last 10 years, but Cherish has been actively working with families for 13.
Amazing. I remember back in 2013 when I got to go visit some of our ministry partners there in Uganda, and we got off the plane at 1:30 in the morning in Entebbe, and you were standing there waiting for us. What a welcoming crowd into Uganda. Have a bunch of friends there greeting us. That was neat.
It was a joy. It's always a joy when people come and visit. You're working away at a village and you have some friends that'll show up, and I only knew you by name, and it was the same time it's 1:30 in the morning, and I'm meeting you, but you're also handing over computers and resources that we're going to be able to use for our ministry, which is amazing.
It was neat. It was a neat time. Okay. How has how has Cherish changed over the years? Those last 15 years that you guys have been pouring into Ugandans, tell us, what have you seen has been kind of the change within your organization?
Yeah, we started off as like an orphanage. It was children would come and we would house them on site. And we started realizing after a bit of that as good of a job that we could do on site as an organization, we still couldn't fulfill the need that a family gives. And what we did is we started researching and started tracing these families, and we'd find family members that were connected to these kids that we were caring for. And what we realized is these family members actually wanted to be with these kids and vice versa. So then we started having these family members come on site, and then we started having the kids do visits to the home for over the weekend, and this kind of slow transition in back to families. And so currently now we don't have any children living on site as far as their residence. Now kids come to live on site as in our boarding school, but they always go home during term breaks to their families. And at first it was kind of a bit shocking for us as we're looking at Cherish, which is given 3 square meals a day, and you're bathing and you have clothes and shoes, and we're doing all these fun activities, and it almost like a camp atmosphere. And then you go visit these homes and you're thinking, wait, this is like a 1-room house with a dirt floor, and you're not even getting 3 square meters a day, yet you as the kid would rather be here. And first, in our Western mindset, and we run an organization mindset, it was kind of like, whoa, wait, this is a bit strange. And then as we just started continuing to do it, realized a family is the best place. It really is. So then we shifted to really a family strengthening ministry. And so rather than serving and ministering to just individual children, it just opened up to families. So we've had, I think it's about 153, families with kids that we've resettled to families. And so what would have been just ministry to 153 children is now ministry to 153 families. And it's been awesome. So that's a significant shift that has happened over the years. We are so thankful that God directed us in that way.
That's neat. So, in this time of 2020, crazy COVID-19 pandemic, how has that affected Cherish there in Uganda?
Yeah, it's definitely affected us. Probably the biggest programmatic effect was the closing of our schools. So Ugandan schools, they run calendar year. And so we started school in February, at the first day of school, February 3rd, I think. And we just did school for a couple of weeks, and then pandemic hit and schools shut down. At the same time, travel bans went into place. You couldn't travel by public or personal transportation. You could walk or ride a bicycle. So we ended up, those kids that we had on site, living on site in our dormitories, they then went home to their families, which is great, but then we couldn't access those families except via phone. And so that was really difficult. We still have some difficulty. We're still under, in Uganda, some travel bans. There's still a curfew that is set for every day, and it's easier to get to people, but still difficult. So that was the big shift, is probably the school. And in that process, we had to lay off all of our school staff, so that was about 40 people that lost jobs during that. So that was really, really difficult time for sure, and still is. We're still in contact with many of those staff members, but that was really hard.
So, if we come out of COVID over the next couple months, next 6 months, right? What's your plan of attack moving forward, kind of post COVID?
Yeah, the beauty of hitting pause on something is the opportunity to evaluate. When you're busy running everything and you're just go, you don't, at least we haven't taken a real proper time to evaluate things like our school. So once that pause button was hit, we've been able to look and go, okay, is this doing what we wanted it to do? And what we've realized is it really wasn't. we were starting to look at kids that are graduating our schools and started to look around and go, which of those kids are out working and providing, have jobs for their families, and very few of them. So we've actually are making quite a significant pivot with our education and really focusing more on skills. So we're still going to have an education that teaches basic education, reading and writing and math, and but also really going to shift towards problem solving and abstract thinking and leadership and communication, as well as what skill set do we want to give these kids that they leave with. And so a big thing we're kind of investing in right now is an IT program, so computer lab, and we've already got we're calling it an impact center, where kids are going to be trained to be able to do programming. And we already have some jobs lined up. And so we're really, it's really an exciting time for us as we're churning away on that, figuring out how do we do that. And then looking at, like, there's big gaps in Uganda. There's big gaps. Plumbers. It's really hard to find It's really hard to find good plumbers. So the next one will be that. How do we get good plumbers? Because you get a good plumber and they're going to work every day, all day, and make good money. So we're trying to figure out, because there's a lot of schools that are teaching skills, but they're teaching woodworking and tailoring and shoe cobbling and a lot of the same things that everyone else already knows. And we want to figure out, how do we teach video production? How do we teach sound engineering? How do we teach social media management? How do we teach these things that country, Uganda, is just now on the cusp of exploding, and we get our kids on the front end of it.
Well, and some of the beautiful things you just said, there's a lot of those services can be done remote, like what we're doing here, right?
Yeah.
So you can have Ugandan taking care of IT or production, video production there for you and I here in the United States.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. And this is, being that GreenTexs is in the home improvement industry, we're closely connected to a lot of trades in the home improvement world. And I've said for many years, come very soon, you'll be paying your plumber more than you pay your attorney or your doctor, because there's just not many people stepping up into the trades.
Yeah, it's very,
so
very true.
I think that's amazing. I think it's great what you guys are doing there. So tell me how someone would get connected with you guys and partner with Cherish.
Yeah, our website's the easiest place. www.cherishuganda.org. There's a little button on there. I think it's ways to serve. Click on there, and there's lots of options. There's obviously financially to partner with us. The beauty of partnering with Cherish, if Cherish is doing the kind of things your heart is already connected to, then when you start to give financially to that, you become a partner with us. And we're big enough and have enough experience that we are actually tackling some significant problems, which is awesome. But we're not so big that your money kind of goes away into a black hole and you just hope and pray and trust it does something good. You can be connected to us and in partnership with us. Trips, once we get moving again, we have one trip that is already scheduled for 2021. We hope it happens. But we love to get people on the ground and connect with our people. And it's amazing what happens when you get rubbing shoulders with the people that are doing the work every day. Everybody comes away changed from that. You can testify to that. It's just great. We love people praying for us. We have prayer teams, and we get our people connected through that. So we don't want to be the kind of an organization that just, hey, send us your money. We want to be kind of an organization that does feel like a partnership with the people who jump on board with us.
Beautiful, beautiful. When GreenTexs donates money to Cherish, how do those funds directly benefit Ugandans?
Well, our organization is like any organization anywhere. We have salaries to pay and fuel to put in the car and mouths to feed. When you're doing all these home visits and connecting with families and figuring out you got their individual care plan, and how do you move that family forward? Like, there's time and effort and money that has to go into all of that. And that stuff doesn't happen for free. That gasoline, which is $4 a gallon there, You gotta put that in the van to drive to that family and pay the salaries of the people that are working with those families. We have like a guy we're working with right now, and our social work team was visiting this family, and they noticed dad wasn't around, and they started asking, do you have a father? And yeah, well, where is he? Oh, he's inside. Why is he always inside? Oh, he's got something wrong with his arm. And they go in there, and he's got this huge swollen arm. Come to find out, he's got this big cancerous tumor on his arm. And so we've jumped in with him, because this family, without an income from dad, like this family's just continuing to spiral into, deeper and deeper poverty. And so we've been able to get him to the hospital. 2 weeks ago, he had his arm amputated. That was the only option for him. He's now going to the Cancer Institute in Uganda. He's home from the hospital as far as from the surgery, and our doctors are working with him, and we're just walking with this family. And the goal is not to just get his arm better, but to get him healthy and back working. And in the process, he's started following Jesus. He prayed to accept Jesus in the ward of the hospital, and it's just really been awesome to walk that journey with him. But all of that is, if you don't have any money, you can't kind of walk through those families. And we do everything in partnership, so that family's also paying a little bit in the process what they can do. So we don't believe in handouts, so we believe in partnership and work together. Yeah, exactly.
So let me get this straight. Your social worker was at the person's house, dad's inside, got cancer on his arm, can't do anything. If it's not treated, there's a good chance dad's not going to be on earth,
right, for sure,
that much longer.
Yeah.
The funds that come into Cherish were able to, number one, you guys assessed a need, a life and death need, realistically, from what it sounds like, because they wouldn't have amputated that arm if it wasn't, if it wasn't dead, if it wasn't, cancer, if it wasn't truly bad, right? So get rid of the cancer, then start to treat this. This man and his family have an opportunity that they would not have had if your social worker hadn't dug in a little bit deeper. Say, hey, tell me more about what's going on.
Right. And I could talk all day on those stories. I mean, 13 years of those stories of true life and death. Like, it is unbelievable. We got before and after photos of people that you just like, what? Like, you can't believe it. Kids that you think are handed to us that have been abandoned, that it looks like this kid's not going to make it through the night. And now, granted, we have lost a few for sure. I think we've had three children that have died in 13 years. But everyone who comes is always like, wait, I thought this place was full of kids with HIV. Like, it is. All these kids have HIV, or most of them. And people are like, but they look like normal. Oh, yeah, you should have seen them when they showed up. And people are like, well, why? Well, what's the secret sauce behind this? Well, it's food, and it's clothing, and it's care, and it's security. And most importantly, it's the love of Jesus. Like, that is what changes people. It's crazy what happens when you start living life just full of love. I mean, it is so healing. Yeah, there's miracles happening all the time.
It's amazing what a little bit of hope and encouragement, and like you said, an arm around your shoulder will do for your mental state.
Yeah, most
definitely. You add all the rest of that, the medication, the food, the education, the care, and it's life changing. That's amazing. It makes me tear up every time I think about it. Okay, a couple more questions here. Brent, I'm assuming that all donations to Cherish are tax deductible. Is that correct?
Yeah, we are a 501c3 nonprofit. Yeah.
Beautiful. Sure. So when people come and they partner with Cherish and they give financially, they'll be able to write that off on their taxes.
Most definitely. End of the year, you get a statement, has all your gifts on it. Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay. So tell me, I want to get into this a little bit more here in a second. What would $10,000 do for Cherish over these next few months to the end of the year? How would that affect you guys there?
Well, probably the biggest effect would be as we're revamping education, as we're looking to kind of pivot, we are making that pivot. That's where those funds would probably be the most useful.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a significant investment that we're making in IT and computers right now, and so that's it's going to probably go towards that.
Beautiful. Okay. So as you know, we here at GreenTexs are committed to raising $10,000 for Cherish over the month of September. And the way we're going to do that is this. GreenTexs is going to match any donation given during the month of September by clicking this link below. Click this link below, donate to Cherish. We will match any donation up to $5,000. Okay, let's blow this out, guys. Let's donate to Cherish. Let's go way far above and beyond $10,000. But we've committed to donating $5,000, matching up to $5,000 of all donations by clicking on this link below and donating to Cherish. Let me ask you one other thing while I've got you here, Brent. Besides financial donations, are there any other type of donations that one could give that would benefit you guys?
Most definitely, yeah. We partner with a group called Project Cure, and on our website, there's a place to click on that, and you could purchase literally thousands of dollars of medical supplies for $100, and then they pack it all in a bag for us, and they ship it to us, and then we take it over there. So that's one way. Whenever we go, we often will post a list of things we need, and so when we head out next, we end up taking just tubs and tubs of stuff. So there's always needed things, and you know, the same thing to run a business there, run a business here. You know, we're always looking for, you know, fresh computers and, you know, iPhones. I mean, that iPhone is an amazing tool for our people, especially social workers out in the field. It's the thing is, yeah, but those are expensive. So we're looking for technology is a huge benefit for us. So yeah, there's lots of ways. School supplies, like it's pretty much all the same stuff you use and need. We need it too.
Gotcha. Okay. So if somebody has a connection with Dell or with Apple that could get Cherish a great deal on computers and printers and all that kind of stuff, that would also be a big help, correct?
Huge.
Okay.
Yeah.
So again, click on the button below. You're gonna have a place to donate, but then also we're gonna add something in there that says, hey, look, I've got this, so that Cherish can reach out to you guys and see how we can expand this partnership here.
Yeah. Awesome.
Beautiful. Hey, thanks again, Brent, for giving us some of your time this morning. We appreciate all that you're doing, you and your precious wife and your family here in the States and in Uganda. My wife and I have, I guess, been a part of this ministry consistently for 5 years, started back in 2013 with some donations, and we believe in what you guys are doing, and we're just so thankful for you. God bless you and your ministry.
Thank you, Graeme. Thank you.